And I'm Mark Gallardo.
We're in period 6, and this is our waste management project.
So planned obsolescence is when the government produces things cheaply and sells them to the consumer. So they run out quickly. You have to keep rebuying stuff. For example, plastic bags. There's razors for shaving and napkins. You use it one time and you get rid of it, and it's time to buy more. And perceived obsolescence is when the government wants you to buy new things from advertising using propaganda. For example, you can use phones. iPhones, they come out with the iPhone every year. For example, iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 6, iPhone 7. And same thing with shoes and cars. They have a new one every year, so you can buy more and more, and eventually it's just wasted.
Externalized costs or costs of production that someone else pays for. For example, dirty water, food poisoning. For an example, when there's plastic goes into the ocean, the fish eats it, and eventually we eat the fish, which causes food poisoning, and global warming also.
There's many green cities out there. For example, there's San Francisco and Portland. The things these cities do is help make the environment more green. The thing San Francisco does is they use a different way of transportation instead of using cars and trucks and buses and all that. They normally just either carpool or they ride their bikes or walk to work or wherever they need to go. They've also developed compost and recycling bins, which basically splits the stuff that goes to the trash and stuff that could be reused. And they've also used a lot of solar energy more on their buildings as for electricity use. And their plastic bag rate has been cut in half because most of the people in that city use reusable bags for their groceries.
5 steps to reduce your storage of stuff. One easy way is by using reusable bags. For example, here's one right here. Reusable bags could last you a lifetime. You know, my mom's had this one, I think, for like a year now. Rather than using these plastic bags, because these plastic bags are just produced in the plant. We use them one time only, and then we throw it away, and these are not biodegradable, so they end up in our ocean and hurting our environment and hurting us. Another good way is by using reusable cloths, because paper towels is just another example that you just use one time and throw it away. You can use these things for anything basically. You know, I use this to clean up almost everything, and when it gets really dirty, you just throw it in the wash, and it's good to reuse again. Another one that is very simple and we've been taught since a young age, but not many of us actually do, is recycling. Yes, recycling is not going to fix the problem, we know that, but it will minimize a lot. The next thing is zero waste. You know, if you look around your house, you see a lot of things that you buy that create waste, but a lot of things that have packaging that just end up going to waste. You know, you have to be smart on what you buy and try your best to minimize your waste in your house. And we have to stop buying useless things. If I walk around my house, there's a lot of useless things. For example, this. Yeah, it's my little brother's. He's a little kid. It's a toy. I get it. But in the next month, I'm probably gonna be cleaning, and I'm probably gonna throw this away, and it's probably gonna end up in a dump somewhere. You know, to me, this is useless. He doesn't even play with it anymore. So we need to learn how to stop buying stuff like this as a society, so we could cut down on our waste.
I'm here to also talk about the bad things we do in our community that cause more waste. And many people do this, like when people have leftover foods, they would put it on a plate and wrap it, and then, eventually when they're done with that leftover food, they'll throw away all that stuff. Instead of doing that and causing more waste, we can use reusable containers where we could store our food, it'll stay fresh, and after we could wash it and it'll be brand new again for your next time of use. So that way you won't need to waste more plates or foil or any of that. Also, another form, we could also do is instead of using water bottles, we could use reusable canteens, and it just does the same job as a water bottle. The only difference is you could reuse it for the next time you need it. And when you use a water bottle, you're most likely just gonna throw it to the curb or the nearest trash bin you see. You're not gonna try to spend your time recycling, so that too causes more waste.
So what I learned in this project about packaging is that biodegradable packaging is much better because biodegradable is able to decompose by bacterial living organism, which is a lot better because the packaging doesn't add to the more stuff we already have on this planet. Like, and some of the worst things to use packaging is like plastic because it just ends up in gutters, the oceans, and it's a big problem to clean up. And a lot of the ocean, especially, is getting filled up with plastic, and it isn't really good. So biodegradable is the best option for packaging.
Okay, guys, this is my sister Sabrina. She's someone in my family who actually, really cares about the environment and tries her best to cut down on her waste for our environment. So, as my sister, can you give me any tips and little tricks that you do to cut down on your waste?
Well, I start off by doing the little things, taking bags to groceries, using my own bags when I go grocery shopping, recycling all the bottles and plastics we have around here, trying not to mix the trash between what we can recycle and what we can actually like throw away and go to waste.
What I've been noticing is that last time I went to Costco, is that Costco actually has a new different types of trash cans that have compost trash cans, recyclables, and regular trash. And I know some universities, even your university, does it. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like that's a big part of what is going to help us reduce in waste. The university I attend, which is UC Merced, actually has trash cans like that all over their campus, even in the dorms. We have a trash chute that divides it in three different ways, and I feel like that's a big help to reduce the waste that we have been trying to within the years. And yeah, I'm a big part of that.
So for you, basically, the little things count, as in like making sure throughout the day you're doing these things that, where you're not buying useless stuff and cutting down on just anything that cuts down on
Yeah,
waste,
I feel like
basically.
little things also count, when people say always do the little things. I feel like that's a big thing, we have, if everyone starts contributing by doing those little things, it's gonna make such a difference in the near future.
Man, how do you think, as a nation, we could get everyone to contribute and jump on this new thing where we cut down on our waste and what we're producing?
I guess it's by telling them how, I guess it's like if you were to tell them how the future would look like if we continue to do this, because I know that right now with the waste we have, it's not, we're trying to get to become better, but I say that if we do tell them, give them a little predict the future a bit, we can let them know like how it's gonna be if we don't start now, if we don't take action now. So I feel like that's a thing we should start, because I know we've been trying to advertise it and people have been doing it with these new laws about taking the plastic bags away, which is a start. So I feel like if we all just contribute to the little things, it'll make a big difference in the near future.
And for you, what's your biggest tip that you could give me to follow in your footsteps?
I guess it's just keep in mind what you can do to contribute into waste by, like I said, doing the little things. Just taking bags to the grocery store, just making sure you separate your trash, just making sure to reuse a lot of your things, especially plastic, trying to see if we can reuse or recycle it.
Alright,
This is my friend Jamil and Darius, and they're gonna give us tips about how to go green in the world.
Alright, man. Is that the question? Alright, there's a question?
Yeah.
How to go green in the world?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, first of all, you only wash once a week when you need it, so you can consume water. Hi, Mom. And instead of using napkins, you use towels and just wash them over and over. I have no answer for this.
We're here with Caleb Reyes. Caleb Reyes, can you tell us ways to reduce stuff in there?
Well, what I do at my house, I recycle my plastic bottles and cans and just Yeah, it's a good way to get rid of waste, especially in my house. And then you get money for it too, so it's pretty good.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
One thing that I learned from doing this project is that we create a lot of waste. We create a lot of waste, but yet there's a lot of effective ways to cut down on that. You know, I never realized like how much it takes to produce, like, for example, let's say a toy car, to get it from raw materials into my hands. Some materials were probably mined or got from somewhere else in a different country and delivered it to the US just so they could get it to me. And there's a lot of effective ways to cut down on that and to stop that whole situation, but you know, obviously it's not easy because you know the whole country is gonna have to pitch in, and it's hard to get millions of people in on one idea. But I believe that you know we could do it. You know, there was a time in America where we've cut down on waste before, and I think we did it just you know follow the same steps and try to do our best to do the same.
One thing I've learned from this project is how many things we can reuse, but that we never do. We just let it go to waste and do what the big corporate companies want us to do and throw the old stuff away just so we could buy new stuff and do the cycle all over again and make them more money and cause more trash. And that's something I've learned. So I've learned to just stay with the stuff I need and buy what's necessary and keep what's necessary and don't buy added junk and always find a way to reuse it in some type of way.
So what I learned about this project about packaging, it's important what materials used. For example, like one of the best materials used is biodegradable because it is able to decompose by living organisms and bacteria. One of the worst things to use is like plastic, for example, chip bags. And plastic bags is bad because they end up in gutters and oceans, which is eventually bad because fish are starting to eat it and we eat it too. And